Well, good morning, everyone. And once again, welcome to another live this morning. Hope you're having a great start to your day, as I am. And we'll wait for a few moments. I want to say hello. And we sure appreciate folks joining us on a regular basis. Thanks for being so consistent. We love you guys dearly. Kevin, Oshawa, Jen from Cape Breton, and Andrea from Niagara Falls. Carol, good morning. Maria, good morning. Michael from Norland, how is you? Rhonda, help me, Rhonda. Tina, or Tina, sorry, in Nova Scotia. And Dr. Troy, our friend out in Newfoundland, Serpa, and Jeanette from our staff, and Wendy, our favorite people in the world you guys are, and Nick from our staff, and Sandra, how is you? Janice, Susan, thanks for coming on. Francis, Marie, and Diane from LaSalle. Donna, Newfoundland. We love Newfoundland. Deb from Timmins. Stephanie, Georgia. Who's with you? Bob and Stephanie. Hello, Georgia. Vince, Tarana, Susan, Jeanette, faithful followers. Sue, St. Petersburg, Florida. Margaret, good morning. Keith, I've known Keith a long time. And who else? Somebody I just missed from Hamner, and Halifax, and Chantal from Ottawa. Gloria, good morning. Cheryl from Wyoming, right? IT, Unionville. Sherry, how are you? Ellen, good morning. Wendy from London, Ontario, good morning. Cynthia from Elliott Lake. Beautiful. Luella, West Tennessee. You don't even have to put it down, Luella. Sherry, Catherine, Brenda, couple of more. Evelyn, thanks for coming on, guys. Veronica, how you doing? Yvonne, Tecumseh, and Maria. Thanks for coming on, guys. Linda, we're going to continue this morning. Sue from Georgian Bay. And Susan, Bowmanville. Cheryl, West Virginia. I want to sing. Lori, good morning from Waterloo. Dave, how is you? Okay, now let me read. This is part 2 of accelerated aging. We did part 1 yesterday. For those who couldn't come on with us, it will be a podcast shortly, and you can listen to it on the Doctors In podcast. And we went over let me just read it to you. We'll spend a few minutes here recapping in a minute, as soon as I give you this new study. Factors that age you faster, from the Gerontology Society of America. And they named 8 of them, and we'll recap that because I want to bring them to you again a little bit. And then we spent some time yesterday too talking about what you can do to slow down aging, to stop accelerated aging. And I brought out yesterday probably 4 points, and I wanted to get to a couple more, and we ran out of time. We'll do that today. But let me read to you, and I'm going to link this in. Okay, and here is the headline, and this came out of the American Journal of Geriatric Psychiatry. Okay, the American Journal of Geriatric Psychiatry. And it says this: the mitochondria is linked to major depression in older adults. Okay? And in the article, it says, one problem feeds into another and make what began as a small issue into a much larger one. And again, we'll get into some detail about that. Mitochondria, you know what that is? Those are your battery packs. Okay? You've got billions of cells. And those cells have a nucleus, obviously, but they also have battery packs. They're called mitochondria. And mitochondria produce energy, ATP, okay? But mitochondria are linked to major depression in older adults. The power plants, this was all in this article, the power plants within the cells are faulty. They're not producing enough energy. And listen to this. Older adults with major depression show accelerated aging in cells in their brain, more specifically the mitochondria. Okay? So when they analyze the brain of people that have depression and major depression, they see changes in the brain at the mitochondrial level, energy levels, and it's aging. It's even more aging. So that's why I wanted to bring this out, and we'll talk about, okay, let's go back. Let's go back to yesterday. Just spend a minute, and I'm going to bring to you, and I really emphasized this yesterday, I'm going to bring to you what the Gerontology Society of America said about 8 factors. Two of them, I mean, you don't have to be a rocket scientist. 2 of them are smoking, that ages a person, big time. On the outside, usually with the skin, and on the inside, okay? And remember, aging can be measured by, not the calendar, although, the clock keeps ticking, but you can literally, you can literally look at aging by measuring free radical damage, okay? And I used to do that to some extent in the office. If anybody has ever come to see me, I used to show them a free radical, what it looks like. Damaged cells, okay? Now, everybody's got free radicals. The day you're born, you got free radicals. As you get older, you got more free radicals. And free radicals, it's oxidative damage. Cut an apple in half. What do you see? Doesn't take long. That apple's going to start rusting out. That's what free radicals do. They rust you out. And everybody's going to rust out eventually. You just don't want it to be accelerated. You don't want that aging to be advanced, okay? So you want to slow that down. Now, 8 factors, okay? 8 factors. Smoking, alcohol. The other 6 have to do with food. The other 6. Now, the American, Society, the Gerontology Society of America didn't say that, but I'm saying it because of what they said. Okay, they listed. First of all, smoking ages you rapidly. Alcohol ages you rapidly. Okay, too much of it. Okay, then Here's the other list. I think it's worth repeating for those folks that weren't with us. And even again, in teaching, what do? Repeat, repeat, repeat. Okay? Waist size was number 3. Body fat was number 4. CRP, which is your inflammation marker, CRP, C-reactive protein. I love that they talk about that. Triglycerides, I almost fell off my chair when I read this list, and they actually put triglycerides on that list for aging. I've never seen that. And you and I talk about triglycerides all the time for heart disease, right? Childhood obesity is number 7 and diabetes is number 8. And what did I say yesterday? Here's what I said. All of those, the bottom 6, have to do with food. Okay? The bottom 6 have to do with food because they're all part of metabolic syndrome. Your waist size, your inflammation, CRP, your triglycerides, your body fat percentage. It's food. And it's carbs. Now, they didn't say it, but imagine carbs. Because of all of these conditions are metabolic syndrome. Remember what is, this is, guys, really important. I know I say it maybe too much, but I've got to say it again. They have number 8 as diabetes. But really, when you have an increased waist size, when you have increased body fat, when you have elevated CRP, when you have elevated triglycerides and childhood obesity, you know what really that is? It's metabolic syndrome, yes, caused by carbs and sugars, yes. And it's preventable. And plus, diabetes being at the end should have been put up at the top. Why? Because really all of those things that I just talked to you about are diabetes without diabetes. What do I mean by that? Don't wait till you're a diabetic. You know my illustration about the Titanic. Blood sugar is the last thing that's going to go high on you. It's the last thing. Your body is so smart, so fearfully and wonderfully made. The Bible's got it right. Okay, listen. Your body will do everything to keep sugar low. Why? Why? Because sugar is so destructive. And your body knows it. You might not know it. You do. But the world doesn't know it. The world, oh, Dr. Martin, moderation. Sugar is good for you. You need carbohydrates. And you don't know what you're talking about, Dr. Martin, because my dietitian told me I need to have moderation in my diet. And, even if I have cancer, I need a little bit of sugar because, how am I going to get energy without sugar? And yada, 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 yada. But your body is smarter because it says to itself, this person is eating carbs and sugars, and we must take sugar out of the bloodstream. And therefore, we have an organ dedicated to doing just that. It's called your pancreas, and insulin will get the sugar out. So by the time somebody gets to be officially a diabetic, they've been a diabetic a long time. Do you know? You guys know that, okay? And I emphasize it because we always knew, okay? You look at any chronic disease, okay? The World Health Organization said it. I didn't say it, although, yes, I did. But let me quote them. For the first time in recorded history of man, The biggest killers in the world are not famine, not infection, bacteria or viral, okay? Not even wars. I brought you a whole podcast on that. The biggest killer in the world today is food. It's metabolic syndrome, chronic disease. So, take a little arrow in your mind. This is the way my mind operates. I go from, okay, diabetes or even pre or whatever leads to the number one killer in society, heart disease. Number two, okay? Number two, cancer. Heart disease, cancer. Three, okay? Three, Alzheimer's. The number three killer in society today. Number one in the United Kingdom. And then fourthly, diabetes. Well, diabetes. But they're all diabetes. Okay? You get it? And now, the Gerontology Society of America, you have to understand, when I read stuff like this, guys, I go, holy moly. Okay? Holy moly. These people get it. They're saying that food ages you. Now, they didn't say food, but when you say waist size, you don't get waist size. Like, remember what we used to call beer bellies? Okay? They're sugar bellies. See, it's fructose. Alcohol is like fructose, my friend. They're metabolized the same way in the liver. When you see belly fat, and listen, when I was a kid, and even in the 1970s, you never saw a woman with a belly. I mean it. You saw men, if they drank too much beer, we called it beer bellies. Do you remember? Is anybody my age so that they can confirm what I'm saying is true? Women. But go around the world today. Go to your local mall. Observe. Why is that? Yeah. Cheryl said only when pregnant did they have a belly. But today, it's a big issue. Why? Why? We changed the sugar from sugar to fructose, high fructose corn syrup. I've been saying that for 40 years. And I'm telling you guys, this is incredible. It's doubling down on what you guys already know. Metabolic syndrome. 93% of the population have metabolic syndrome, and it will age you. It will cause accelerated aging. There's two types of aging inside the body, two types. There's free radical damage. Think of the apple when you cut it in half. Okay? That's what's happening inside your body. It happens to everyone. And some, depending on what they smoke, drink, or, drink too, even when it comes to fructose, the worst thing you can do. The worst thing you can do is drink fructose. God wanted you to eat fruit, not drink it. Okay? And when they put high fructose corn syrup in soda and in all these drinks, you go to Starbucks and you order this latte, and, I tell people, man, you have no idea what you're doing to yourself there. But what they're saying about aging is that it is a big big problem of accelerated aging. Okay? So there's free radicals, and then there's a second form of aging. It's called glycation. Advanced glycation end products. They give it a big name. What does it mean? Well, glycation is literally the loss of elasticity in organs, in skin, in collagen, and it's aging. You can often see on the outside of the body, but even within the joints. Caramelization is another word. When you look at joints they're glycated, and you know what causes that? Sugar. It ages you. It ages you. Okay, now let me give you a little bit of a list. Okay, you got those 8. 6 of them have to do with metabolic syndrome. Even inflammation, yeah. If your insulin is too high, you create a silent, deadly inflammation. And that's why I love looking at CRP, C-reactive protein, that actually measures that. I love looking at blood work, guys. I love looking at the right blood work. Okay? Because you can tell metabolic syndrome. Okay? You can tell metabolic syndrome. Now, let me give you good news. And then we're going to get to the study on the brain specifically. This is very significant. Okay? This brain study done by, hold on again, I know it's the Journal of, let me quote it. It's the American Journal of Geriatric Psychiatry. You know what? Psychiatry right now is really been turned on its head. But don't wait for psychiatrists to change. Don't wait for that. That's not going to happen. It's going to take a long time, if ever. Okay? And what they're studying is those battery packs within the brain. And they get damaged. And they age rapidly. Now, they don't tell you why they do it. Okay? In the American Journal of Geriatric Psychiatry, they don't tell you why that's happening. They just tell you it's happening within the brain. The brain ages, and they're finding out where it ages, and it causes depression. It causes depression. And I'm telling you, that's even in younger people. But anyway, I'm telling you that your little mitochondria all over your body, but especially in the brain, according to these studies, they're showing that when people are depressed, it's not just chemistry, friend. It's actual energy. It's energy. Because the mitochondria are prematurely aging. And they're not giving out the ATP. They're not giving out fuel. And I'm telling you why it happens. Yeah. Alcohol, smoking, I guess it can affect that. But the real problem is what I've been saying for so long. It is crappy carbs and sugars. Crappy carbs and sugars. That affects the mitochondria in the brain. And for some people, it's depression. Other people, it's Alzheimer's or both. It's dementia. It's food. It's not your genetics. It's not genetics. Oh, my mother had Alzheimer's. Okay. But that doesn't mean you have to get it. It doesn't mean it. And what we know is what we can do for ourselves. So let's go over the list that I talked about yesterday. I think it's worth repeating. And I'm a simple man. I'm simple, guys. I am. I am just a simple. I don't like complicated things. I really don't. I don't like to get into weeds. I don't. My brain don't operate in weeds. My brain operates in simplicity. Okay, what can we do? And what did I say yesterday? I'm not looking for longevity. Okay? I'm not looking for quantity of life. I'm not. It's not my goal. Okay? A lot of people, I want to live till I'm 110. Well, good luck with that. Okay? And be careful what you wish for. Okay? Be careful what you wish for. I want to have my brain, guys. Okay? That's what I want. Now listen, stuff can happen. I get that. You're not in complete control. People, I'm in complete control of my life. Let me tell you, that's not true. Okay? Quality of life. And this is why we spend so much time on prevention, guys. If you get sick, I'm on your side. I'll help you any way I can. I will, I told you, I told people in my office, if I thought hanging you upside down from this building would help you, I'll go up in the building, on top of the building with you, and I will hold your feet and hang you upside down. If I thought that would help. I want to help. But here's what I know. Okay? Here's what I know. Here is my list of what you can do to help yourself, so you don't age prematurely. Obviously, from what we've been talking about, you start in the kitchen, please. Or as someone has said to me, the grocery store. Start there. Okay? And eat meat. Eat eggs. And eat cheese. They're anti-aging. They're anything else you can think of too. But I mean it. You need to change fuels. Anything that turns to sugar rapidly is very, very destructive. You're burning the wrong fuel for most people. They burn the wrong fuel. It creates a lot of free radical damage, oxidative damage, when you feed your body the wrong fuel. And people for the last 50 years have been eating the wrong fuel. They're carboholics. Number one thing I said is steak. Eat steak. And when I say steak, I mean meat. And yeah, red meat is better than any other meat in terms of quality, in terms of vitamins, in terms of amino acids, in terms of protein. It's much more bioavailable. Change fuel. I would start with the reset. Do it for 30 days and then adopt a low-carb lifestyle. Don't live on carbohydrates. carbohydrates like the rest of the world is doing. It is destructive. Destructive. And somebody's saying nitrate. You know what? Now you're getting me going. What are nitrates? Where does it come from? What's nitrates come from? I'm waiting. Somebody give me the answer. This is a teaching moment because someone is saying, Dr. Martin, what about nitrates in meat? Yes, Grace. Yes, Grace. Yes, Grace. Celery. It's celery powder. My bacon has got nitrates. It comes from celery powder. You guys know it already. Why are you scared of celery powder? See why I get a migraine, guys? I love you guys because you're smart and you question me. I want to be questioned. I don't want you not to think. I want you to think. When I go and see bacon and it's got nitrates, who told you that was bad? Oh, they did. Who's they? The vegetarians of the world and the vegans of the world. And they don't want to take over the world. And they don't want you to eat meat. They want you to eat celery. Okay. And then celery powder is nitrates. How can that be bad for you? The best, okay, the best breakfast you can eat are bacon and eggs. If you want to have steak and eggs, go for it. You know, this bacon's got a bad rap. For why? It's got the same oil as olive oil. And everybody loves olive oil. Oleic acid. I like olive oil. Okay, I do. But I like bacon better because it's got the same oil in it. Yeah, but Dr. Martin, it's got nitrates. I know they add some celery powder to it. Oh. If I don't have a watch that tells me to breathe, because if I did, it would be telling me to breathe. No, but I know, but you see how easy it is to get duped? When they want to vilify red meat, they do something. They say something. Oh, that's full of nitrates. That's just the worst thing since sliced bread. It'll kill you. Nitrates will kill you. Oh, red meat causes cancer. Isn't it awful? Red meat is acidic. Isn't that terrible? It's all nonsense, my friend. I'm sorry. I used to get up real close with my vegetarian and vegan patients and get real close to them. And I said, can I teach you something? You know, with this face, can I teach you something? And they look at me, you know, usually they were, they were intimidated a little bit. I said, you've been lied to. You've been duped. It ain't true. Okay, I gotta stop. today because I'm getting too excited. Okay? I'm getting too excited. We're going to continue. We will. This is to be continued. Okay? Look, let me say this in closing today. See this face? Well, it didn't always look like this. Okay? That's aging. Okay? And let's be honest, okay? When you see movie stars and they got a plastic surgeon on speed dial, okay? I kind of laugh, like their lips are, like they got lips out to here and they're popped out. I think it was Madonna, who's apparently 64 years old. She scared the life out of me. She looked like a monster. She's had so much plastic surgery and Botox and whatever. Look, guys, okay? Look, you can do whatever you want and get all the plastic surgery you want. Eventually, you're going to age. But what I'm talking about is slowing it down, okay? Slowing it down. And my friend, it works. And we'll get to the rest of the list. I got to talk about it again. Okay, guys, eat your bacon, okay? Don't let anybody tell you not to eat bacon. Bacon is so much better than oatmeal. Ooh. I literally had a patient, ex-patient or whatever, say, well, as soon as I'm done the reset, I'll go back to my oats. And I mean, my head exploded. Oats are for horses, not for you. Stop. Okay. Love you guys. Talk to you soon.